I'd only just got back when the summons came. So instead of the long bath I'd hoped for that would wash this filthy business from me, I'd have to go and face the governor. And I could think of only one reason for his summons. Pilot obviously knew. It was the longest walk ever. Each step 1,000 miles, each second an eternity, as I covered that short distance from my quarters to the governor's office. It wasn't fear that slowed my steps along the corridor. As a soldier forged in battle, I've had to face the certainty of death many times before. Lining up to face the enemy really focuses the mind. You come to accept what will be, will be. My fate, as always, in the lap of the gods. So no, it wasn't fear that slowed me. It was regret. Regret that after so many years of loyal service, it would all end like this. Disgrace, dishonour, and that shameful charge of treason. Don't see it no other way. Well, as I walked, I tried to figure out who it could have been that had reported me. It wouldn't have been any of my men. We'd been through so much together. We bonded like brothers. I'd never doubt their loyalty. Besides, they were still up at the site. I'd left them there to handle the other crucifixions. So, if not my men, then who? Surely not the man's family. They were too shocked and scared to get involved. And the rabbis? Well, surely they had what they wanted. Why rock the boat at this time? So not them. But who? I was both mystified and intrigued. And I have to admit, I was quite taken aback when I saw who it was standing there alongside the governor. I would have never have guessed it would have been him. I'm a good judge of character, and I thought I knew Joseph well, a Jewish leader from Arimathea, rich and powerful, but not one I'd marked out as a political player. I really believed he was better than this. Unlike most of us, he always struck me as one with integrity. Secretly, I respected him. I never once considered that he would be my nemesis. Well, I was obviously wrong there. But why did he make his move? Why did he turn on me now? I stepped up and stood silently, waiting for the accusation. It was one I couldn't deny. So, Centurion, you believe this man is the Son of God, do you? You would choose this feeble Galilean over your emperor, would you? And what a futile chime to choose to declare your traitorous colours, while the man you declare for hangs dying before you. By your own hand, even. Sickened by what I'd seen of Roman rule in the past few days, and standing before a man who'd shown himself to be so weak that he thought he could actually wash his hands of all responsibility, I think I would have pled guilty to that charge without hesitation. I'm not sure I wanted a part of this anymore. It would be a relief to be out of it. My relief came, however, in another way. That was not a question that Pilate put to me. My fears were unfounded. He'd not heard my outburst. All he wanted to know is he dead already? Having recovered quickly as a soldier's drilled to do, I gave my report. I admitted that I too was surprised at how quickly he went, but yes, the Nazarene was dead. It's my job to know if someone's dead. If I made a mistake in the battlefield and the blighter sprung up behind me and stabbed me, so I'm very thorough with my checks. And when it comes to execution, I do my job properly. In most cases, when the criminal deserves it, I aim to extract as much pain as possible. In rare cases like this one, where the victim did not belong where he was, I see to it that things go quickly and as painlessly as possible. You see, I was in the courthouse. I saw it all. What a farce! What an injustice! If Pilate had had the guts to stand up for something just for once, then a murder I would have been glad to put away would still be up on that cross, screaming in agony. I would have seen to it. Instead, Pilate sent the wrong man to die. A man he openly admitted was innocent. But he didn't count that for anything. No, Pilate had other purposes in mind. Appeasement, the same as always. And I, as always, was detailed to do his dirty work. Now, do not be mistaken by what I said about my skills at crucifixion. This man suffered. One can ease it a little. There's no painless way to crucify a man. Unless, that is, you drug the fellow up to the eyeballs first. And that wasn't possible in this case. He refused all the wine that we offered. But it was not the physical torture that was worse for this Jesus. It was the deep agony of his soul. I've seen so many men die, but I don't ever think I've witnessed such desolation. And I can tell you, I certainly have never heard a more agonized cry. "My God," he yelled, "my God, why have you abandoned me?" Some fools thought he was calling for a prophet to come and save him, and others rushed to give him wine. But I heard what he said, and I felt the deep agony of it. This guy was for real. His shock was genuine and overwhelming. For most of us, the sense of being God-forsaken has been gnawing away at us for as long as we can remember. I'm sure God left me a long time ago. But this man acted as though it was the first moment of separation he'd ever experienced. His reaction was raw, it was terrible. No wonder he died screaming. Most of us have been screaming inside forever, but he felt his abandonment, I'm telling you, for the very first time when he was dying on that cross. His scream rang so deep that it seemed he was experiencing all the cruel agony of our godlessness right then and there. So do you wonder that I marvelled? The charge sheet nailed up with him named him the King of the Jews. To me that just didn't say enough. I blurted out my feelings. Truly, this man is the Son of God. Anyone so pure and so innocent could have ever screamed like that. Well, thankfully, as it turned out, Pilate had not heard that I'd said anything like that, nor had he put the spin of treason on it, as I feared he would. And Joseph wasn't being vindictive, as I first thought, but astonishingly brave in the circumstances. I'd not been wrong about him. He was the man I'd first judged him to be. More so even. He stepped up to give this man that Pilate thought expendable a decent burial. Not sure I'd want to stick my neck out like that at such a volatile moment. I caught his eye and gave Joseph the slightest nod of approval. We both knew that this act of decency amounted to nothing less than a slap in the face for Pilate. And what drew that out of this normally reticent man, I can only guess. You'll have to ask him. But for me, the way I saw him die, I can tell you there was something very, very special about that Jesus. So take him and give him a proper burial, Joseph. He deserves that at least. For my part, I know that this man and that dying cry of his is going to live in my memory for a very long time to come.